Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Transformers 1. This is Studio Series Optimus Prime. So in this video we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're then going to of course bring in the abundance of Optimus Prime figures right from Generation 1 right through up to Netflix, and indeed all the way up to Reactivate. So a load of different Optimus Primes just to see how he looks and fares against them. And before we open him up, I'd like to thank Hasbro, who very kindly have lent me this figure to do the review on, and of course I'll be sending him back straight after. As I start to open him up though, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. Right, let's have a look at the packaging then. So we're already up to Studio Series number 112, which is quite scary to think about that already. He's packed in his robot mode inside there. Just be aware that this does lift up, so if you are buying yours from brand new, make sure that these are all attached, because this again it's attached and holding him in place, but on this particular copy it's just underneath there. We've got a lovely full-size image of him at the side. On the back we can see he's going to take 25 steps to transform, but you've probably noticed I've already uploaded a tutorial, and then we've got the bust of him there as well. This figure is completely new to me. I've only ever seen images of this online, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see, especially with the backdrop, obviously, because it's all pretty much brand new. I'm going to bring that out, and then what we need to do then is I'm going to set him free for the packaging. We'll do some first impressions. We'll then have a look at him in his alternate mode, and then come back and do all the comparisons. So then here he is in his robot mode, and I've got to confess straight away, this guy looks amazing. Right, what I need to show you as well though is the smokestacks came obviously wrapped up. You need to attach one of them either side to each shoulder. On the underside we also had this in the wrapping paper. We need to attach this to the back of that. That's going to be like the front bumper. He also comes with an energon axe, which we can have a look at in more detail when we attach it later on, but he also has of course the all-important little matrix, which we can open up the chest, and this will indeed fit inside there, no problem. Again, brilliant for a deluxe figure. Right, the head sculpt is lovely. There's loads of detail around the mouthpiece, which you can see there. The eyes are a lovely shade of blue. The head will spin all the way around. You can see it's on a mushroom peg, so it will look up and down as well, no issues. The arms will give you a full T like so. It looks a bit odd though, let's be honest, and I'd love to say it's a full swing unrestricted, but that would be lying. You need to adjust this. Look at this, you've got this extra swivel borderline butterfly joint there at the top, and it will go around if you just angle it slightly so it doesn't catch any of the chest piece or the back. So if you swivel it and move it at an angle, you can get it around all the way, but as I say, it does get slightly restricted by the chest piece. There's no shoulder swivel, but there's a bicep swivel, there's a bicep flexion, there is a wrist swivel as well, like so, and there is, if you just slightly again move this, there's a full 360-degree waist swivel. There's no ab crunch, unfortunately, that's just the hips moving, but the legs will kick. Is this a hip skirt? No, it's not. It will still allow you to go right out to the side. Oh, it is a skirt. Yeah, you go, it's moved up. It will go right out to the side. It will come all the way up. It was just a little bit tight. It will go right past the point of a right angle, to be honest, and then coming back, it's just because it's so stiff and I'm scared I'm going to break it, in honesty, and it'll come all the way back as well. You just need to move some of the stuff out of the way. I've knocked that off now, so I suppose I'll take the opportunity to show you how it attached. So you've got this shape there, exactly the same cutout there on the back, and then this will slot into position there. So if you knock it off, or if you're struggling to put it on at the beginning, it just goes there, no issues whatsoever. The translucent blue plastic on the front is stunning. I love the fact that you can see the matrix through it. There's lots of detail there in the top of the thighs. There's a swivel in the thighs. There's a huge knee bend. There's an ankle tilt, rock, toe tap, plantarflexion, all that sort of stuff, which is the correct terminology. And this moves, yeah, this moves up and down. So the whole hip skirt will give him some huge posing and dynamicism into putting loads of different stances. I think that's pretty much it for first impressions though, to be honest. He's better in hand than what I thought he would be. Loads of little bit of detail that I'm noticing every time I quickly look at him. All the extra details on the front, loads of G1 homages, whilst at the same time looking like a new figure as well. Right, that's it for first impressions. Let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. Here he is in his alternate mode then, and again, quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. That is to keep the main length of the video down and also not to spoil it for people who don't want to see it. You've probably noticed there's a tutorial up already though, so if you want to watch it, you can. This is also something that I need to tell you if you're watching this back in a few years, and this figure's been around for ages. I think if you want to be displaying him in the alternate mode, having the accessories can be quite important. And the reason for that is, to me, and maybe I'm being overly picky, it doesn't look very good at all without the accessories. Again, it is a deluxe class price point, so they have had to, you know, sacrifice a few things. I think this particular image of him on the box, which you're going to see in a second, looks fantastic, and that's the images that we've seen. I'm taking nothing away from it. As I said, I just think as soon as I put the accessories on, it makes a really, really big difference. The transformation there, you can probably tell. These are the legs, there's the arms, there's a huge gap there where he's all folded over, but again, it's not too detrimental as soon as you get these attached. So this was of course on the back, so you do need to take it off anyway. You're looking for these small ports at the bottom of the thing. I don't know if you want to call them a dual blaster, a dual laser, which I think they've called them on TF Wiki, but it looks to me just to be more like, I suppose, a sort of bumper. And then if we take the Energon axe and then this, what you have to do is separate the legs only ever so slightly, just so you can get this blue tabs to fit behind these blue tabs here at the back, so that goes just under where the kneecaps are, and then you join that together and it just rests. But as silly as it sounds, it sort of fills it out a little bit more, and indeed, as I've said, I think personally it makes it look a lot better. There's no denying now that that looks 10 times better than what it looked at first. The good thing is though, as I say, the wheels on the underside here and there, they do actually roll. So although it's like a Cybertronian vehicle, and they're pretty well disguised, of course, I think that's supposed to look like wheels, but obviously it's not at all. It's just these blue wheels here and these red ones there. So you've got both of his accessories attached. It doesn't look, to be honest, that you can attach anymore. Yes, they are his visible hands, which are holding on to the top, I suppose, of his shins. In all honesty, I'm thinking, no, you can't really get anything in there. Blast effect compatible though, let's have a quick look. I'm sure it probably is because of how thin they are, but oh no, maybe they're actually too thin. Maybe the ones on the side, I know there's varying different sizes, but to me that's quite loose, so perhaps it's not intended for that whatsoever. With regards to some other some other Optimus Primes, let's get the box out of the way. So there, of course, is the Earthrise one. So it's about, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's about the same length, but nowhere near the same amount of like density. This, as you can see, is quite hollow. This, everybody knows Earthrise Prime. He's just a great figure. He feels weighty. The transformation process is much more complex, but only down to our engineering, not like due to huge amounts of difficulty. It doesn't look too bad up against that. The Generation 1, this is my one from childhood, hence him being a bit battered. He stood the test of time though, so pretty much you've got, I suppose, yeah, the brand new one, the original one, and I think this one's sort of classed as industry standard now. This one's such a brilliant version, and if you compare this to that one as well, it's, yeah, just a little bit bigger. With regards to some other vehicles, we've got your Voyager class Seeker. Now this really does look massive compared to this. Remember, as I say, Optimus is now only a deluxe, so the size difference between them is huge. To be honest, Drag Strip's a deluxe as well, but he's also massive, and I suppose these two are good, give you an idea of just how big it is. To be honest, I really don't think there's much more to say about that particular mode. Let's give it a go if it fits, and I'm never very complimentary about these backdrops, and that's pretty much exactly why it doesn't fit on it. I know it's probably going to be for his robot mode. I just wish that they'd save the money or get them all piecing together to make a huge scene, because I personally think it's very rare that you're going to find somebody who's only going to buy one particular figure. Maybe get, you know, you've got to build it all up. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get every single figure, because I know that'll annoy a few people, but just enough so you can build up enough of a scene to pose more than one figure in. Right, there we go. That's definitely enough about the alternate mode. We're going to come back for the final time. Let's see how he looks with his accessories and bring in some primes for some comparisons. Right then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode to see how we can use his accessories and indeed to do some comparisons. So, although this is a deluxe figure and they don't have the actual finger articulation, what they've done is very cleverly just put two cutouts in the fists, and as you can see, you can take the fist away and it can still hold it with the one hand. It is literally just, can you see that little cutout there in the side? There it is, in the side of the fist. So that's how you can still hold the Matrix even though there's no finger articulation, which I think is great, because let's be honest, even if it's a deluxe class price point, he still has to be able to hold the Matrix. It is definitely a fundamental design flaw if you can't hold the Matrix. So unfortunately there's no other place for these to go. I've had a quick look, I've had a try and had a play around myself. I've checked over the instructions. It really is no place for this to go, so you do have to take it off for the alternate mode as well, because of course this is the roof of the cab, and of course when it's attached, funnily enough, it's attached to them two bits there, which are the underside. I think I've gone and knocked it straight off again anyway. Let me see. Oh, nearly knocked it off, but they can sit there, not too bad. And then let's have a go at this. I've not had a go at this myself yet, so I'm presuming we're going to turn the fist that way, and yeah, there you go. And then of course you can turn it whichever way you want. That would also explain as well why these shoulders do this little bit of, as I say, turning in and out. So of course he can grab that Matrix. I'm really loving the way this translucent blue, you're probably not, I apologize because it is reflecting off it, but I think in person it's making it look lovely. And just the extra touch there, I didn't mention it in the first part, of the yellow feet is of course just a brilliant homage to some of the original figures. Right, now before I start to bring in quite a few different primes, let's bring in a few other figures. Granted, these are all of course different toy lines, however that's a deluxe and that's a deluxe, so that's a huge difference right there. This is a Voyager class, this is a leader class, so again you can really see where your money is, to be honest. As I say, I know it might get a lot of flack, shall we say, because it's not the greatest, but you got to remember the price point in which he's being sold at. Right, this, just in case you collect third-party figures, so if you don't, this won't mean anything to you, but this is again just a size guide. So that's a New Age Optimus Prime. Then we've got a Doctor Wu Ultra Magnus, and then I've just got very quickly an Iron Factory Iron Bison. So that gives you an idea with them. Let's start to bring in some primes then. Now, I'm not going to bring them all in for obvious reasons because we'll be here all day. Very quickly though, I'm just going to bring in a G1 Minibot to then go with G1 Optimus Prime. So again, most people, maybe like me, who collect G1, want to know the sizes, and I suppose that's one of the best things to do with regards to that. So let's move him out of the way. So here we go then. So that is of course mainline core class. And this is, I suppose, I've just got a few, as I say. Maybe if you want, leave some notes in the comments. Maybe I'll put more primes out or get a big collection video of them all. I'm going to do these two first, I think for obvious reasons, because we've got some Orion packs going on. And I think that, of course, everybody sort of knows the story. So that's exactly why I've pulled them two off the shelf. Right, let's got to make some space now. In fact, I didn't bring in, just because I've got him here ready, just in case anybody wanted to see him next to a Tetrajet. That is him next to Skywarp, obviously. Right, so this is pretty much the same as Earthrise, it's just the Netflix version, obviously in the G1 colours. Let's put him up against the Gamer Edition. So again, these are much bigger, different price points, both classed as Voyagers. Let's move them out of the way. I've got the original Wolf Cybertron figure there, and then I've got a Crystal Convoy from Japan, which again, they all look great there. What else have we got left? I've still got a few more. Let's bring in Reactivate and an old classics one. And again, I know there's more, but I've hopefully covered pretty much most bases with the ones that I've put up. To be honest, as I say, I'm quite impressed with him. I do need to stress, though, that if you are watching this or you're thinking of buying this figure at a later date, the accessories are going to be quite important for the alternate mode. If you don't have any accessories when he's in robot mode, let me just take the smokestacks off as well, because they could, of course, be lost. You may still, well, in fact, that's a bit harsh. You are still going to be able to display him. He's going to look super basic, but that's what he's going to look like. There we go, guys. Nothing more to say about him. This is Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Take care.